Good afternoon, everyone. This is Scott, and welcome to the weekly trade report video. Today is October 29th, 2017. So taking a look at the indexes, we can see the Dow Jones is still continuing its trend higher, still in a steady uptrend, so nothing to be concerned about as far as I can tell on the Dow. If you look at the SPY, S&P 500, similar thing. We had a brief little 4-day pullback, and then Friday had a big ramp up to new highs. So the markets are very strong here. There's strength across many sectors. We got strength in the banks. We got strength in bios. We got strength in the home builders, steel names, just across the board. So lots of good setups. Now we got the oil names are starting to show some strength with the USO, the oil fund, making a very nice move on Friday. So you're seeing a lot of the oil names make some nice patterns and breaking out. So no lack of opportunities in this market. If you look at the IWM, we can see, basically kind of a bull flag pattern there. Right there, it's pushing up against this resistance. So it had a big nice run, kind of a sideways action, and looks like it's ready to continue to tread higher. So the IWM small caps look really good. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the names from last week's watch list and see if we can find some good setups for next week and how some of the previous ones played out. So if we take a look at ACOR, this one, let's remove this drawing here. So it had this big candle, closed right up here near 27, and then it's kind of been putting in this consolidation pattern, but this one looks like it's ready to make a move higher. Nice bio name, looks like it wants to break through 27 area. If you kind of look at this nice little ascending kind of triangle type pattern. So ACOR has a very nice look to it. IBB, the biotech sector, actually had a pretty nice candle on Friday too. If you take a look at that, let's take a look at the IBB. Kind of beat down, but had a decent candle on Friday. So the bios got beat down, but there's some of the bios that held up very well, and those are the ones that look good. ACOR is one of them. Okay, let's take a look at some other names from last week's watch list. This is BTU. Been watching that one for a while. We can see, let's take a look at this spot. Well, the key area there was around 30, right? So if we kind of redraw this line right around 30, you can see it had earnings and it broke through that 30 spot, come back and tested it. And now it's just kind of hanging out above that 30 spot. I think once all these sellers that had bought up here just above 30, these people that bought up here are closing their position for break even, I think this one's going to have a nice tread higher. This is a nice consolidation, basically from back here in 731 area all the way up to now. Been consolidating for all that time. So I think BTU is ready to make a move higher, just kind of chopping around sideways after breaking 30. But I do think that one's going higher. So if you're patient, I think that one's going to pay. Let's see, Boom. Very nice move on that one. Look at that. This was on the watch list. Clean pattern there, right through 18. Congrats if anybody caught it. I've been holding Juno basically for 8 days, and it's finally starting to pay off. We'll take a look at that one too. But there's the pattern there in that Boom, BOOM. As soon as it broke through 18, had a very nice push. And if you sold at 19 or even 20, great move on you. Looks like it's a bit extended now, so nice kind of overextended candle on Friday. Probably gets a pullback now, but very nice move there on Boom. Okay, let's take a look at Juno. So Juno is probably the best looking setup out there in the whole market as far as I'm concerned, and I've been holding this thing for 8 days, which is longer than I like to hold, but the pattern held up, and basically the bull flag consolidation, big breakout, and then just kind of the sideways action. And so there's the pattern, and you can kind of look at this area right down in here as kind of a support. So basically some sideways consolidation for a couple months, and looks to be resuming its uptrend. There's rumors of a buyout. I don't really care about the rumors, but if there's a rumor and the pattern still looks good, then I get that kind of helps my opinion on it, because maybe the rumors are true then if the pattern's actually reflecting, the pattern still looks good and you get rumors, maybe the rumor is true. But I really like this Juno. I still got a position in it, been holding for about 8 days now, and so it looks like next week ought to be the time it actually makes a move. Based on the chart pattern depth, you can use 42 to 46 to give you a $4 profit on the breakout. I'm thinking this one could do 50 or better, and if the rumors are true, maybe it gets bought out at 75. So who knows? But I still love that Juno. Still holding that one. Love that chart there. Okay. Next up, OPK. So OPK looks like a bull flag pattern. So it had a big move, and so here's your kind of downtrending line here. Kind of gets rejected, and this is kind of what you're seeing. So if this one, if this one can break through, push through this area, this downtrend line, I can see this one pushing, testing 720 again in the near future. Really like the OPK. Has a very nice look to it. Okay, STLD. So this one is a very interesting chart. It it's had trouble breaking this 38 for a long time. It's a steel name, and it finally broke through this 38 level. And it actually looks like it's just kind of pulling back, resting after this, huge move, because it got as low as 33 and then ran all the way up here. But the fact that it broke through 38 tells me that this thing's going to go higher, because it hasn't been able to break this in over a year. And now that it's broken it, it looks like it's just kind of consolidating up here for the next leg up. So really like the STLD. AK Steel is another one, kind of hanging out right around this 6 area. But I think these steel names are going to be, once again, nice move, pullback. See if they can put in a pullback, higher, a higher low, and then ramp back up. That's what you're going to want to see there. All right, so let's look at another one, OMCL. This one had a decent pattern. You can see how it broke through this 52, had a multi-day move, but then it just gave it all back. I don't know if they had earnings or what, but the pattern's now broken. So, that's the benefit of actually locking in on the way up, because then something like this happens, or an earnings report, you can get a you can lose some of your profit there. Okay, Lulu, still a decent looking chart. Looks like it was going to break through last week, but then it kind of pulled back. So I'm not seeing too much there anymore. And Lulu. Oh, KRA, this one looks just like Boom, right? Take a look at the Boom chart. And you have this similar pattern, right? A similar kind of ascending triangle type pattern. And you can see how it broke out there. I guess they had earnings or something, but nice multi-day move there. And the time to get in would have been somewhere up in here and looking for the breakout. Or you could have bought on the pullback during the day on, what was that, Wednesday? Might have been a good entry point. But it does look like it's going higher. Nice move there on KRA. Take a look at Twitter. So Twitter broke out on good earnings, which is, this thing's been beaten down. But it had this big nice break, and then actually broke through this kind of this resistance area up here around 2050-ish. And so 2 nice days of move. I can't enter this right now. I've got to wait till this thing forms some type of pattern, consolidation pattern, like a bull flag, some type of sideways action, kind of consolidates a little bit so you can get a good entry point. Right now it looks like it's a little bit extended from 17 to 21, or almost 22 in just 2 days. So I'll wait for this one to give me, if it gets a decent pullback or consolidates, it'll probably give you a good entry there. But I like to see a pattern to play against versus just randomly buying a stock that's going up. Because then you enter it, and then let's say you enter this thing at 21.60, and then it gets a pullback at 20. Well, then what do? Now you're at a loss, and your emotions come into play. So it's best to just wait, for this thing to pull back or to set up some type of consolidation bull flag type pattern for entry. Okay, let's take a look at, FLDM. This was one that had a nice spot at 550. You can see that one had a nice break. Intraday on Thursday, went below it, but then it closed it back above it, well above it. So very nice move there on FLDM. ACER still looks pretty decent, but it needs to set up again. And maybe it's kind of forming this type of pattern, something like that. But nothing right now. Looks like it tried to break through this area and kind of pull back. So still consolidating, so I don't see anything on the immediate future for ACER. Okay, VERI, it's a big runner, and it looks like it's pulled back, kind of consolidating down here. And I don't really see anything yet, but I think the key area on this chart would be somewhere in this kind of area right in there. So maybe it's trying to just consolidate some of this move for a while and then perk back up. I think there could be some momentum in the future. It just needs to, consolidate for a while after this monster move, and then maybe it'll perk back up. So Okay, RP, real page. It's consolidating right up here around this 40, 4350, kind of 44 area. I think this one is going to go higher, and it's basically got up here to this area here, and then got rejected again, tested it again. So 3 or 4 times it's tested it. I think it's going to go in the near future. RP. Okay, POT, fertilizer name. Basically had one false breakout. So I had one false breakout, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes it takes a couple breakouts. Same thing happened with Juno. Had a breakout and then failed and pulled back. So basically, this thing's in a bull flag type pattern. So here's your lower support, and here's your support down here, and then you get your resistance right on 1950 area. But I do think these fertilizer names are consolidating for another leg up. So potash could get back up there around 1950 and make a move. But just keep your eyes on the fertilizer names. CF is another one. That one looks pretty good. And you get AGU. Similar chart as POT. So the fertilizer names look good. Okay, GBT kind of broke through this area here. That was a resistance. Nice little one-day push. Still looks like it's going higher. Like that GBT. Okay, S-Fun, this is a Chinese name, I believe. Basically got a spot up here around 460. Looks like it wanted to break it, pull back, maybe putting in a higher low here. So I'd watch this one through a spot, perk back up near 460 for a breakout. Decent looking setup. Okay, MSP, this one's really, really pretty. It's some type of investment fund or something, but the chart looks really, really good. And so watch this one, this 24 spot, and so here's kind of what you're seeing there. Bull flag pattern, pull back, tested it, pull back, tested it. So it's testing, getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And as you get that volatility contraction, that's when you're going to see the breakout there. So this one I'd watch through 24. Still has a very nice look to it, this MSB. CDNA. So CDNA is one that I traded and made some decent money on, but I know I sold entirely too soon because other people made a lot more on this one. But you can see this one, broke out of this bull flag pattern a while back that I was talking about. Big move, and then just continued ramping, just fantastic. Almost doubled from this 3 level. Actually, it did double and got to $6. So this one is kind of forming another bull flag pattern, right? And I'd watch this one through 6. I mean, yes, it looks like it's very extended, but the pattern looks like it's going to go higher. And a stock is never too high to buy or too low to sell. If the pattern's there, take your emotions out of it and try to trade against it. But I mean, look at this stock, $1.50, back in on 8.7, and then now, just a couple months later, it's up at $6. Just a monster mover there. So, something to be said about letting your winners run, and here's a great example of that. But anyway, this CDNA, nice spot at 6, so that one still looks like it could go higher. Alright, let's take a look at, okay, OMN, spot at 1150, right, tested it, kind of putting in a ascending triangle. Watch that OMN, nice spot there at 1150 for a break. Doesn't really trade too many shares, kind of a thinner name, so keep that in mind. Okay, Fate, another biotech name. So nice break on this one on Friday, as well as with Juno, right? So here's your pattern. Here's your lower support level, somewhere around 380, right? 380 to, let's say, 430 area. So take that difference and add that to the breakout. They give you your first target, and then you can let these things, maybe sell half at the first target and keep some for a bigger move. But Fate looks like it's going higher after breaking out of this consolidation pattern. Okay, AXTI, this one looks real good. So this candle wick back here, 950, right? tested that 950 level, couldn't break it, pulled back, put in a higher low, right? If you kind of just draw this type of support level, right? Looks like it's ready to break through 950. So this AXTI, nice looking setup for Monday on maybe an 950 break. Okay, this is Kang. So take a look at Kang here. We, a while back we had this pattern, right? And then it failed, right? So the pattern's broken now, and then now it, ramps back up. So if we take a look at it, basically that same resistance level at 1450 is still in play, right there, right? It looks like it's actually poking its head through 1450 now, and so this one actually is breaking through that level. So this will be one to watch. This KANG looks like it could go higher. Okay, SM. So here is an oil name, right? So oil broke out on Friday, and along with several of the oil names. And if we take a look at SM, just one of the many of them, there's several other ones, EOG, and just a lot of other oil names, but they look like they're breaking out of consolidation patterns. SM looks like it's going to go make some new highs. Take a look at EOG. We can see EOG had the big run up and then the sideways consolidation, and looks like it's ready to continue its uptrend. Breaking through this 98 area on Friday, right? You see the little bull flag. Consolidation there, right? And if we take a look at just the oil sector, this USO, you can see that, how it broke out, right? Good volume. So nice breakout in oil, and generally the oil names follow the commodity, kind of like gold and silver names as well. So that one looks great, the oil names, lots of opportunity there. Okay, here's one that looks real good, HCLP. So let's kind of remove some of these old drawings, right? So this one, kind of a long-term bottomed out here, ramped up, pulled back, and now it broke back through 10. So I think this one, kind of a key level is this, this 1050 spot. But the fact that it got through 10, tells me this thing is, wants to test this 1050. So, here's the 1050, right? Kind of a key longer-term area right in there. Right, so this one I think could test 1050 and break it next week. So we'll keep an eye on that one, HCLP. That one looks real good. Okay, the home builders have been strong. This GFA, check out this little, nice kind of ascending triangle pattern there. Nice spot at 950. Tested it back here. Looks like it's going to go higher. Kind of a lower volume name, only trades 100,000. But the GFA, very nice looking setup. Some of the other ones would be like Lennar. This one put in a nice flag pattern. So longer term, I think these home builders are heading higher. But GFA has a nice setup on the daily. All right, so we'll take a look at, let's see, CAVM. Okay, so here's CAVM, spot at 70. Right there. If you want to kind of draw, see if we can draw like a nice trend line, something like that, right? Trending higher, so nice spot at 70. And so that's all I've got for tonight. You guys have a great, rest of your day, and we'll see you all on Monday. Lots of good setups, lots of good trade ideas out there. We'll see what happens with Juno. Been very patient with it. Hopefully it pays off. I'm now at a profit. I'm in at 44. It closed near 46, I believe. So we'll see if we can get a big, nice move out of Juno next week and see if the patience will pay off. But all right, guys, talk to y'all later. Have a good Sunday.